it's just like the drama never ends, yo. So, all my supporters on YouTube, friends, viewers, whatever you want to call it, subscribers, y'all know the drama I've been going through. If you viewed my videos, YouTube makes it private, but if you were, present during the lives, I'm going through some court issues, custody battles, because currently I have custody of my children, but their maternal grandmother has been actively, and I mean actively, trying to stop that, making up all kind of stuff, lying, saying I'm abusing my kids, you know, lying, saying I'm abusing my kids, which that's bullshit. If anything, my kids are spoiled. If anything, I don't discipline them enough. If anything, honestly, I haven't been disciplining them at all, and that really goes far as even down to taking away video games, which was my main form of discipline. If I bought them a video game or a toy and I wrong, like not doing their homework, not doing their schoolwork, not take it away because it's a distraction away from what's really important. They're not following my directions and things that I'm trying to, help them and tell them this is what you need to be doing and teach them responsibility as a parent. That's my job. And they decide they want to, not do the things they're supposed to do. Then you don't get video game time. You don't get to go, if I had a plan to go to Chuck E. Cheese, for instance, or whatever place that I would have planned for my kids to go to, that plan is canceled. Point blank period. I'm not going to reward you for misbehavior or not succeeding in school. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. You know what I'm saying? That's just where it's at. You can't call that cruel and unusual punishment or abuse. But see, her thing is, see, my kid's maternal grandmother forgets. She totally forgets her form of punishment that she thinks is acceptable. She forgets how many times she told me to beat my kids, and how other relatives through marriage and other relatives of hers, let's say, have told me to beat my kids because they wouldn't follow directions, they wouldn't sit still, they were just all over the place. Told me to whip my kids. So, and did I do it? No. I said no. Period. So she forgets those things. So if she says I don't let them be kids, why do you encourage them to be beat? That's my thing. See, I allow them to be kids, but I also won't let them run all over authoritarian figures. I'm not going to let them run all over authority, because if they can't respect authority in my house, how are they going to respect authority in the world? See, that's the thing. If they feel as though there's no consequences for not following my directions and my rules in the house and getting their education, then when they go out into the world and doing a simple punishment, before I get into what the consequences are going to be, if they can't respect the things that I put in place, the laws that I lay down in my house, and they can't respect a simple punishment, or a simple punishment that, like, taking their video games away or putting them on timeout, or saying you can't get on a computer, or you can't watch YouTube, or you can't do this because I feel like that's influencing you to do those things, whether it be because you have too many, let's say, privileges, or you're exploiting those privileges by watching something that's teaching you this bad behavior or encouraging bad behavior, what we deem as bad behavior, but behavior that is unacceptable, right? If that's deemed as a too harsh of a punishment, I'm not letting them be kids, then surely her wanting to beat them is definitely out of line and out of pocket. Um, and that is just what it is. I there's no way to say that in any other kind of way. Um, where did I put my keys? Hold on. Oh, I have them in my hand. See, but that's that. And then if they can't, if I can't use those punishments to implement the fact that there are consequences for your actions, then what happens when they go into the world as young black men, young minority men, when they go into the world, right? And they see an authority figure that already has a superiority complex, an oppressive nature because they have a badge, and they go out into the world. And we can argue that that's not a reality, but it is. There's records of police murdering young black men, black men in general. And they get smart with the police, and the police feel like, well, I have a badge, I'm the law, and they take the law in their own hands and beat my child to death because they feel like I can say what I want. to the police. I could do what I want. Authority means nothing. So, you know, hold on. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'll see you tomorrow.
So when they do that, what do we do then? I'm gonna be blamed because, you know, currently my kids live with me. I failed them. That's what the narrative is gonna be. Have a good week. Have a good evening, Bonnie. Later. Yeah, like I was saying, that's what the narrative is gonna be. Okay. Sorry, y'all. My car. Man, this is crazy. I think somebody was in my car, bro, and adjusted my thing. That's what the narrative is gonna be. That's the narrative. You played a major role in raising them. You're to blame for why. Damn, fix my mirror. Hold on, y'all. All right. So the narrative is gonna be that you play a major role in raising these kids. I do. And you're to blame for whatever happens to them as adults because you raised them. So if they end up not respecting authority and it lands in their demise or incarceration, that's your fault. So I try everything within my legal right and as a parent and without being abusive to show them that there are consequences for their actions. So if I take a video game away or I choose not to get something that they asked me for that I told them I would get, you know what I'm saying, because they don't listen or they're doing something that they should not be doing, then I'm doing what a parent's supposed to do. Period. I don't care what their maternal grandmother says. I don't care how many lies she spreads. I don't care. You know, she tried he has felonies. He has felony charges. I don't have any felony charges. I'm sorry to tell you, I don't have any felony charges. Zero. Absolutely zero. 1 second, y'all. Yeah, man, I shouldn't. Certain things, when I listen to certain people, what might work for their car, I shouldn't just apply it to mine because they said that's the right thing to do. Because now it's causing my car some issues, and it's pissing me off because now I gotta go pay for expensive repairs on my car. But it's also due to wear and tear because I gotta go to this place, that place, this place, court all the fucking time because of her petitions that are silly. Like literally, they're just silly. They shouldn't even be entertained because, first of all, the court violated my rights. It violated their mother's rights. It violated, the law. Realistically, a grandparent's rights do not supersede a parent's rights, and under any circumstances, the court is not supposed to entertain a visitation petition if both parents are opposed or a legal guardian is opposed. I'm opposed. Now, even if they don't respect my guardianship, even though I've been there since they were babies, they're supposed to respect their mother's rights, and their mother said no, and absolute no, and their biological father for the two kids that they allow visitation, you know what I'm saying, like, he's deceased, so he doesn't have a say, and he didn't really have a say to begin with because he didn't help facilitate in raising them. So let's just be real. Now, I'm not even looking for fairness. I'm not even going to speak on fairness. I'm not a selfish person like that, but I definitely am going to speak on a lot of the bull that's been put out there. She's destroyed my character. Okay, she's definitely assisted in some defamation of my character, for sure, by telling churches, telling people that I'm a liar, that I'm abusive, that I abuse my kids. First of all, I've never abused my kids. I've never abused their mother. I'm not an abusive person. Any female that I've had a relationship with would tell you I'm not abusive. If anything, I'm quite passive, and it's ruined a lot of relationships because I was too passive with them, and they wanted a certain type of dude. Now, not to say that when it comes to males, I won't defend myself. Oh yes, oh for sure. I'm not gonna let nobody put their hands on me. With a female, I have different tactics of not allowing them to put their hands on me. Like for instance, I'm not in the streets. I'm not committing crimes. You know, I'm living an active civilian life, a father life. So I will have no hesitation on reporting you to fucking police. And the reason why is because I don't have a choice. I'm not abusive. I'm not gonna beat you up, but I'm also not gonna allow you to beat me up either. You get what I'm saying? So I gotta stop over here and grab some, check my mail, because apparently they haven't switched my mail over. But there's that, you know. So I'm not trying to make myself seem like a saint. I'm not a saint. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to y'all like I'm a saint. I'm not a saint. But the things that I've been accused of, I wasn't doing, for sure. Now, have I? Hold on. Have I exposed their maternal grandmother for the things she was doing? Yes, I have. She was in the wrong. She needed to be exposed, and I'm not being heard by the proper individuals that are supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, addressed with that. I'm not being heard. I'm not getting justice. So I got to put it out in the public. That's the only way I'm going to be heard. Okay? And because they built up a portfolio of arrests on me, even though I've been found innocent of every single crime. Every single crime. I've never been convicted of a crime ever in my life. Okay? All charges were dismissed, dropped, or unfounded during their investigations. Point blank period. Because of that portfolio, though, I've been unfairly accused, unfairly judged in the court, in the eyes of the court. I'm a successful, young, black male. And I'm saying black loosely because some of you want to subscribe to certain nationalities. Listen, I used to be ignorant mindseted, and I am mixed. You know what I'm saying? As far as nationality is concerned, I'm mixed with a lot of different shit. But I do not subscribe to that ideology. I'm a young black Negroid. I'm a young, successful Negroid male. Okay? Because there's only 4 races. I have to stress that. Negroid, Caucasoid, Mongoloid, and Dravidian. Only 4 races. All 4 race types. There's only 4. I subscribe to being a Negroid. I am only subscribing to be a Negroid. All these false nationalities that exist that were created by colonizers, I don't support to. Because that's me subscribing to the idea that I should still be a slave. I refuse. I'm educated. So I refuse to subscribe to false things. It doesn't matter what my parents, grandparents, they subscribed to being because of colonialism, and their ancestors were raped and enslaved and kidnapped by this one and taught this language and that. I don't follow that. I'm a Negroid. Okay? I'm a Negroid. Okay? And the simplest way to make you understand, you know what I'm saying, that's just how it is. So because I'm a young, successful, hardworking Negroid male, okay, in the United States of America, I am already getting shafted, okay, in the court system. I'm already getting railroaded. I'm already being treated unfairly. And the courts don't like when you say that because, again, you know, they don't like to admit racism. They don't like to admit prejudice, but it's there. It's there. It definitely is there. The fact of the matter is, I've proven over and over again, time and time again, that I am not an abuser, that I did not abuse their mother, that I did not abuse my kids, right? I've proven this. I've never pled out to anything. I refused because I'm not going to plead out to something I'm innocent of. I refuse. I don't care if it costs me my life. I am not going to plead or admit to something that I did not do. One second. All right. So, I don't fit the narrative of what they say a black man should be. I don't. Out selling drugs, committing crimes, all that stuff. I'm not doing that. All right. I'm not actively doing that. I'm actively working. As you can see, I have a uniform on. It's a simple t-shirt, but it's a job. I have a CDL. Okay. I have furthered my education on my own. I finished high school credits. Okay, meaning technically on paper I finished high school early, but because of New York State's laws, I guess I couldn't actually graduate early. Okay, meaning I had all my credits that I was required to have by the time I was in 10th grade. Okay, or maybe I think it was 9th actually, but 10th grade. Let's say 10th grade because I don't want to seem like I'm, you know, exaggerating. But around 10th grade, I was already done with my academic credits. Okay. Now, there are people, of course, that were smarter than me in school, or they were, nerds, so to speak, right? But I am naturally, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm a genius, but I am naturally intelligent, okay? Naturally, I am gifted, okay? It's different than being trained into being smart, okay? I learn differently than other people. I'm gifted. So I learn things, I pick up on things, but I have to be willing to do it. It has to be something I believe in to want to learn. So when I was in school, I passed my test easily because I was interested in those subject matters. I was interested. I had a hard time in math when I was young. As I got older, I got more interested in it because I realized theoretically math doesn't lie to you. It shouldn't lie to you because you have a fact plus a fact equals a fact. That's it, right? And I got interested in history because I wanted to learn more about the world that I'm living in and why the hell I'm stuck in a place I'm stuck in, why I'm dealt these circumstances. I was interested in science. I was interested in these things. And so I got good grades. Not the most amazing grades, but I got decent grades because there were other distractions. I was coming from a place filled with distractions, filled with struggles, filled with obstacles. But I got decent grades. And most of my teachers will probably attest to the fact that I was probably smarter than most of the kids in the class. I just had distractions. I had people trying to fight me. I had people trying to harm me. I had things going on. You know what I'm saying? And I allowed those things to discourage me. But those teachers will tell you, as far as natural intelligence, I probably superseded most of the kids in my class, and if not, a lot of the teachers. Because in today's time, I could debate some of my teachers, and there would be no. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, I furthered my education on my own because I was denied the right of a further education. Denied. Not I didn't try or I didn't want it. I definitely did. I started college early during high school. I took college courses. One of the only people out of two who passed the reading, and the only one who didn't have to take remedial math. Let me tell you, an overpopulated school. Okay? Thousands of children. Okay? Myself, and if I'm sorry, bro, but I'm going to mention your name because you deserve your accolades. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, it was my bro Alberto. As far as the reading, me and him were the only ones who did not have to take remedial reading. That was the reasoning I was given behind being denied my further education. I could not afford to pay for college. At that time, community college wasn't free. I couldn't afford it. I could not afford it. And it discouraged me because when I earned those credits, I sat in this classroom and struggled and learned and practiced and paid attention and sat here when I could have been sitting in an art room and just passing with flying colors because I was great at drawing. I was great at art. I was a fucking savant in art. I was discouraged that I've never been given a fair shake ever. And am I making excuses? No. But what I'm saying is there's a systematic theme in my life of not being given a fair shake. And when I asked for that fair shake with the court system as far as custody of my children, rights over determining who is fit to be around my children, I was denied that. Period. When I went to school, right? And I'm going to continue with the story. When I was in school, I passed. And when it came time for me to receive those credits, the paper, the documentation that I would present to my community college, my local community college, and say, hey, during high school, I achieved something. I want to further my education for free. I didn't get that. They took those credits from me, and it discouraged me. It disgusted me with the system. So what I did was I told them to go fuck themselves. I did. Not verbally, of course, but subconsciously. And I said, I'm going to still further my education, but I'm not going to do it through your means. I went and studied on my own, and I learned a lot. Learned true, real Black history, things that were stolen from us, because that's what intrigued me. After that, that encouraged me to be what you would call a revolutionary, right? What most people would call that, or a civil rights activist, right? Although I'm not out in the community preaching and yelling to people, I speak to people in my community that are of my demographic, or what people would say is my demographic. Okay, the kids in the streets, the thugs, the people who are misguided and lost. Because I was lost at one time when I was young and could not be held accountable for my actions, shouldn't have been. I let them know. I talk to them. Family members, I talk to them. When I find something out and I learn something and I get a theory about something or a hypothesis about something, I talk about it. And I don't hold it to myself because I want to elevate other people. I teach my kids. Why? Because I want them to have pride in who they are. Okay, whether they're Hispanic, right? That's what we're taught, or Black or whatever. No. There's no difference. And here's why. And I show them proof. I don't sit there and just simply tell them things and try to indoctrinate them with religion and indoctrinate them with belief systems. I show them historical, scientific facts, whatever the fuck it can be proven. That's what I teach my kids. I don't teach my kids, oh, you shouldn't eat pork because I'm Muslim. I'm not Muslim. But people assume that about me because I have a beard, right? Which is a cultural tradition. That has nothing to do with religion. I mean, it's been adapted to religion, but it's a I'm not even gonna get into that. Why? Because I don't eat pork. There's scientific evidence that says children should not eat pork. Shit, human beings, grown people should not eat pork. And even if it was religion, there's not a religion. There is not a religion that encourages eating pork. My diet goes according to a certain thing. These are things that are scientific. The things that I ingest and I refuse from my body, the things that I refuse from my body are things that are unclean. These are things that are not good for my body. And I want to live a long life, and I want my kids to live a long life. And even, again, if it was in any way, shape, or form inspired by religion, the three core Abrahamic religions, right? Judaism, which I'm not even going to get into the fact that that shouldn't even be a religion. But let's say the Abrahamic faiths, because we're supposed to have faith, not religion. Religion is made to bind you and mentally enslave, to keep you moving in a strict line like an ant colony. They all say you should not eat pork. Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, Islam, all of those core Abrahamic faiths say you should not eat. And then the most popular religions, let's put, some of the most popular religions in the United States, they say you should not put that in your body. So even if it was religion, but see, what they do is they say, well, Muslim terrorist, Muslim black supremacist, or ultra violent, whatever, because they take the Nation of Islam and they make it a negative thing now. Christian people do that. People who subscribe to the Black church, they do that historically. And they say he doesn't eat pork. Boom. Because they make excuses on why they don't follow their faith and they're not genuine in their faith. And see, that's another thing. That shows my character. If I did subscribe to a specific religion or faith, which I don't because of historical things, but if I did subscribe to a faith, I would show my genuine belief in that faith through my actions. I would be a better example than half these people because they still eating animals that they say that Jesus Christ or whomever they believe in says you should not eat. That Muhammad says you should not eat. That whomever you subscribe to as your Lord and Savior, your Messiah figure, your whatever, right? You don't listen to your own teachings. You're not genuine. You're a liar. And they don't like that I'm that genuine, that I'm that real and that blunt. You're a liar. That's it. If just simply off of that premise alone, you're a liar and should not be believed. You're a liar and no one should respect the things you say because you're lying on your own faith. You're lying to the people around you. You're lying to yourself. Forget about the people around you. You're lying to yourself. Okay? I don't subscribe to religion. And one of those things is there's too many things that the religion decides is a rule for you. And then there's the actual text. And they don't correspond. Okay? There's judgment from man, and then there's judgment for the creator. And I go by the judgment of the creator. I go by faith. I don't go by religion. Okay? So all those false narratives can go out the window about me. The abuse. Now, is it abuse to tell someone that they need to get a job because they need to assist? And this is prior to any orders of protection or anything like that going on. I don't have any against me. Just putting that out there. To tell someone to get a job, and I'm asking you, the viewers, is it abuse to tell someone to get a job, right? To assist in financially taking care of their children. It is also their responsibility. Also, to get a job because it's better to build a portfolio of employment than lack thereof, right? To tell someone that they need to get their banking information together, build credit, to basically tell someone they need to go back to school. That's abuse. That's controlling. To tell someone that these are things that will benefit them, and I'm giving them the reasons as to why it would benefit them. I'm basically giving them. So when you go to college and they give you a brochure to college of all the classes you can take and all the sororities and maternities or whatever you can join, right? Fraternities or whatever you could join, right? Sorry for that. Are they being controlling? Because they're giving you options and they're telling you the benefits of those options in the brochures. And hey, welcome to our college. Is the military being abusive when the military, right, gives you their brochure and says you should be a Marine because it will make you a better man or a better woman. It'll make you strong and it'll give you discipline. And this is what it is. And it tells you the benefits of joining the military. Even though, you know, a lot of those benefits are bull. But let's say they give you that. Is that controlling? Is that abuse? Is it abuse when the military tells you the truth about yourself? Because you refuse to push yourself during their physical training exercises and drills, right? You refuse to push yourself. It's not that you can't, because they can tell the difference, I'm sure. Right? It's that you won't. And they tell you you're lazy for that. Is that abuse? No. It's the truth. Right? It's the truth when the military tells you shit. It's the truth when the military is blunt and direct with you and tells you the truth about yourself. It's abuse when if I do it, if a civilian does it. But it's the truth when the military does it. When I tell you that, okay, for instance, if you're eating things that is unhealthy for you and is making you fat, and is making you diabetic, and I tell you about yourself, and I tell you have poor eating habits, that's why you are the way you are. That's why you're feeling sick. That's why you're shitting uncontrollably. That's why you're vomiting, or that's why whatever. And I'm just using this hypothetically. It's abuse when I say it. Oh, I went to domestic violence classes. Oh, yes. And I didn't plea out to anything. I took it of my own free will because I wanted to learn something. I wanted to see what the hell was making these people confused. Because I wasn't confused. And you know what I learned? That no matter what I say, if I don't agree, right? If I don't agree, and I have my own mind, and I have my own thoughts, and I don't like something, and I say it, it's abuse. That's what I learned. But when the military does it, the police do it, the court does it, right? Even when a woman does it, it's not abuse. A woman cannot commit domestic violence, apparently. Literally. Oh, yes, I learned that. You know why? Because they're a disadvantaged group. That's why black people can't be racist, right? That's why black people can't be prejudiced. That's what VCS tells you. That's what domestic violence classes teach you. Oh yes, you didn't know that? That's like occultic brainwashing. But that's what I learned. I paid attention. That's literally verbatim what they tell you. White men, because they're at the top of the food chain, right? They cannot. They are the advantaged class. Essentially, what they do is labeled as abuse. But, which is true, because they're an oppressive group of people, most of them, right? I'm not even going to say some. I'm going to say most, because of history, right? But, because a black woman's at the bottom, she can't be abusive? Are you fucking kidding me? So if she beats a man, it's not abuse. It's regular violence. It's not domestic violence. It's just regular violence. So that extra charge you get for it being domestic, they don't get. But it happens each and every day. They get arrested for it. See, this is hypocritical thinking that I'm forced to swallow. This is hypocritical thinking that I'm forced to live in a lie because I'm intelligent and refuse to accept that lie. I get punished for it. I get punished for it each and every time. So, for instance, if I marry a woman, she cooks food for me and it's salty, and I tell her I don't like it, and she asks me why, and I say it's too salty, and it hurts her feelings, but I'm being honest because it's too salty and I got high blood pressure, I'm still abusing her domestically. You know that, right? That's what domestic violence classes taught me. So I gotta eat this salty shit and get hypertension and have a stroke and a heart attack and all this other extra shit, or I gotta shut my mouth and eat this shit, right? That's basically what I was taught. Or if I tell her, she asks me if she looks fat, and yeah, depending on how I say it, right? But if I'm honest with her and I say, look, you've been eating real unhealthy, and she's telling me my blood sugar is high as hell, I got diabetes, but you've been eating snack cakes all damn day. I'm because it hurt her feelings and she doesn't feel it. And I'm being honest though, I'm telling her for her health. It's abuse. If I'm telling you, hey, you need to motivate yourself, you're being lazy, get a job, do this, go back to school, I'm trying to build you as a partner, that's abuse. So I guess I would be guilty of abuse. By those standards and by that definition of what VCS taught me, by what domestic violence classes taught me. But as far as putting my fucking hands and bitch slapping and all this crazy shit and trying to pimp out, no. That's bullshit. Okay, I've not done that. And I'm tired of that narrative being painted about me. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of holding my tongue and saying, the truth is gonna be the truth. Whatever's in the dark comes to light. The truth is gonna. No, I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of playing Martin Luther King games. Now it's Malcolm X time. You understand? I'm on that type of shit now. Cause I'm sick of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of it. All right? I'm tired of being peaceful about it. Peaceful protest. No. I'm making everything public. Everything. So now I'm dealing with injustice. So a paternal grandmother, because 2 of my kids are not biologically mine, but I love them no differently. But I have to address it this way because in the court, that's how it's addressed. She files for a petition for custody. When this woman has not been in their lives, really at all, realistically, and any real pictures that she has of them is prior to when I came in the picture, they were basically fresh out the womb, or they were stolen, literally stolen off of other people's social media. So going on people's Facebook and copying and downloading or whatever, how the hell you're doing it, taking the photos, right? And then posting on their Facebook as if they were there. That's bullshit. But they do it. They get away with it. The court don't see nothing wrong with it, I guess. I do. That's stalking, first of all. And that's stealing other people's intellectual properties. You're taking a photo. That's art, right? And you're taking a photo and you're stealing photos of children. That's weird. But, no, because of biological, it don't mean nothing because, hey, they're okay. They can steal photos of a child that you had no intention for them to have, right? Which is why I had to stop posting photos of my kids because they were going on my shit taking stuff. So, okay, she has no relationship with them. But she can go file as many petitions as you want and harass me because I have custody of my kids. I got to appear in court, so I'm missing money. I'm missing time at work. I could potentially get fired. I'm putting miles on my car and wear and tear on my car. This is time I could be spending with my kids, doing stuff with them. Their maternal grandmother does the same thing, right? Filing petitions. You don't have a real relationship with them. You chose not to initially. And then you did crazy shit because you wanted control of your daughter. And your daughter was breaking free from your control. She was becoming an independent, grown-ass woman. Slowly, she was making mistakes along the way. She was fucking up, right? But she was becoming independent from you. She wasn't relying on you. She had someone she could rely on that wasn't going to throw it in her face. She had someone she could rely on that was encouraging, and not every time she tried to be independent, you say, well, how are you going to do that? And discouraging her. See, that's why you don't like me, because I've never discouraged her. I've only encouraged her. And you didn't like that because you lost control. You couldn't use her for money. Tax money, right? I challenge you to produce all the years you've claimed the kids on taxes. And then I challenge you to compare it to how many years they've actually lived with me and how many years they live with you. I want proof. You can't prove they were living with you. You know that. You know that. Because the time span you could say they were living with you, you weren't living with them. They were living in a house that was in your name that they weren't supposed to be living in, that you raised the rent on, that you ran the rent up, and you abandoned them there, right? You left them in a totally messed up state. And guess who came to save them? Basically, I did. Maternal grandmother didn't save them. Uncles, aunts, cousins, none of that came to help them. And I'm not asking for credit. I'm just putting the truth out because I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm sick of the bullshit. I am. I'm tired of keeping my mouth shut. I'm tired of people disrespecting me, talking about I'm a deadbeat dad. I'm tired of people talking about I'm abusive, and I'm tired of the fucking lies, okay? I'm sick of it. It's pissing me off. Like, I'm not going to go put my hands on nobody, and I really shouldn't be cursing. My kids aren't right next to me right now, right? So I have a little more freedom to speak how I want to. And even if this video somehow becomes public and gets put out to certain people, it's going to be used against me, but I don't care. Because the truth is the truth, right? None of the cousins, uncles, aunts, brothers, sisters, nothing. Grandparents at all, both paternal and maternal, helped my kid's mother and her initial 2 children that I accepted as my own. None of them. I did. I stepped up to the plate. I had 0 responsibilities at the time. 0, absolutely none. It's for outside of myself, really. And yeah, I helped out with my siblings and stuff like that, but you know, financially and stuff. But my only responsibilities was me. I had a bank account. You know, at the time, I had just lost a car because a school teacher who was under the influence hit my car and totaled it. I wasn't at fault for that, by the way. But I was about to go buy a new car, about to go get a new place for myself and everything. And I fucked that money off to help someone who had children whose family was not helping. Left them there. And you know what their maternal grandmother was concerned about? Make sure my furniture that I left in that house, which was all in terrible shape, by the way, it was junk. It was hoarding, right? This is a clear example of hoarding. Make sure all that stuff goes in a storage unit. That was her concern. I was there for all of that, the conversation, everything. Make sure it goes in a storage unit. That's what she was concerned about. There was no, did the kids eat today? There was no, oh, how's everything going? There was none of that. Make sure that stuff goes in a storage unit. When her daughter called her about the sheriff's put a notice on the door, and then she also told her mother, hey, I'm moving in with somebody who's helping me. I got with somebody, they're moving me in with them. There was no concern where they were going. There was no concern about the fact that at the time I was still living with my mom, right? There was no concern with that. And I was only with my mom because I was helping her out. I could have lived on my own years before that, to be honest. I was making my own money. I was basically, you know, doing for self. My mom would attest to that, right? But there was only a concern about make sure my stuff goes into the storage unit. She didn't send nobody to assist with anything. You know what she did? She sent somebody to go collect her shit and go put it in the storage unit. That's what she did. Paternal grandmother, there was no, how are my grandbabies? Can I give you any money to feed them? Can I help you with anything? There was none of that. And I know this for sure. You know why? Because I was paying for everything they were eating. It's coming out of my pocket. Okay. And because of the condition of the house, I couldn't go get them groceries. So I had to drive from Spring Valley to where they were living. I'm not going to put that out there, but to where they were living at the time, staying, hiding, squatting. No disrespect. I'm not saying it's disrespect fashion, but it's a fact, right? To where they were at every day. At the time, again, my car was totaled. I was about to buy a new one. I spent all that money feeding these kids and buying them clothes because they had none. Buying them shoes because they had none. They had nothing. Their mother, clothes and shoes and food. They had none. Okay? This is a fact. Okay? A fact. I could take a polygraph. Confidently. I'm putting miles on my mom's car, which was used and older. You know, my mom wasn't the most financially well off, you know, realistically. But putting miles on my mom's car, wear and tear on my mom's car to go from one town or village or whatever to the next to feed these children, make sure they ate. Taking them to and from school, picking them up, taking them to school, all that. Buying them new clothes. When they went to school, their teacher at the time in preschool, right? My oldest son, his teacher in the preschool was confused. He went from, and no disrespect, I understand at the time times was hard for their mother, right? From dirty, realistically, clothes not fitting, to all kind of shit. Brand new, Jordans and all, right? Now he doesn't get Jordans because he doesn't take care of them. He doesn't respect them because I spoiled them too much. He doesn't respect it. And I learned that with my kids now. So until they're older and I know they understand the cost of things, then they'll get more expensive things. But for now, they get regular kid shoes, right? By the time I was used to buying for self, so that's what I bought myself, fancy, expensive things, because I only had to worry about self. And that's what I was used to buying. But now I've wisened the fuck up, you know, through experience and realizing they destroy things, you know, and basically I'm throwing away money, right? But his teacher was confused. And when the teacher wanted to meet me, because she was wondering where the hell their mother was getting this money for these things, these clothes, denim jacket suits, you know what I'm saying? You know, denim jeans with the jean jacket, back in the day, that was all that was popular, right? She was wondering where that money was coming from. And she told her she got a new dude, like boyfriend or whatever she was calling me at the time. I don't know what she was calling me to the teachers. I don't know, but how she was addressing me and whatever, but she wanted to meet me because she thought there was a fucked up agenda. And she also heard stories. She heard stories of the biological dad of these two children abusing their mother and the kids. So she thought I was him for a minute because, he had long hair, I got long hair, whatever. So when I show up, that's who she thought I was, because they addressed me as daddy, right? When I came to the school, they said, daddy, right? Ran up to me, and she's like, hold up, and started cursing me out. I'm like, whoa, where'd this come from? I didn't do none of this stuff you're talking about. What are you talking about? And she's like, oh, you're the new guy. Oh, okay. I'm like, yeah. Nice to meet you. I shake her hand. She's like, oh, so what do you got going on? Why are you buying them all this stuff? I said, because I took up the responsibility of being dad, and I'm in a relationship with her. And if I'm in a relationship with her, I can't just only have her. I got to take care of these kids too, because that's what I understood to be correct and proper. If I'm dealing with a woman, she got kids, I got to be there for those kids. I can't just be like, fuck you, you're not my kid. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's grimy. Just like I can't eat in front of somebody and not offer. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll ask you if you would like some, or if I could get you something if I have the extra money. But I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not jacking I'm an angel. I'm not out here saying I'm an angel by any means, but I'm fair. Okay? I'm fair. I'm fair, and I'm kind-hearted to people who deserve it, and to people who are kind-hearted to me and respectful of me. Am I going to go out of my way and be disrespectful? No. But realistically, I haven't been given a fair shake, right? Her mother, I was super polite to my kid's mother's mom, my kid's maternal grandmother, right? Who is playing these games with the court. Super respectful. Christmas came around, I got her gifts. I didn't even like this woman, right? Because the first day I met her, she was doing some disrespectful stuff, right? But she's on many occasions disrespected me, harassed me, disrespected my kids. And there's a lot of insulting things she said about my kids. And I just didn't like her character as a person. She's a foul person, right? Period. Whether the court sees it that way or not, or they accept it or not, or they understand the inner workings of what's going on, they weren't there. And whether they understand it or not, or understand the politics of how, you know, these family structures are damaged and how they're fucked up because of shit she's doing, that means nothing to me, right? The facts are the facts. I still was very polite to this woman. If she needed food, I got it. You know what I'm saying? We went out to eat. I didn't just show up to her house with food and start eating my food in front of her. I got her something. I got her food. If we went out to a restaurant or something, even on Mother's Day, I took her mother out, and I hate her mother, like hate with a passion. My kid's mother, I took her mother out. I hate her mother. Like, I hate my kid's maternal grandmother. The great grandmother, I love her to death. She's a saint. But the grandmother is she's a devil. Like, and I mean that based on her actions. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sick of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick of biting my tongue. I've been nothing but respectful. The uncles, I've been nothing but respectful. One of them, you know, he's not here. He passed away. Rest in peace to him. Right? But I had a problem with him because he squeezed my damn hand upon me shaking his hand based off of bullshit that my kid's mom, her mom, told him. He squeezed my motherfucking hand and tried to threaten me. And I'm like, you don't even know what the fuck. I'm looking at him like, listen, no disrespect. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay? She's lying to you. I don't know what she told you, but she's lying. Okay? Number one. And until you know for yourself, I have no problem speaking to you man to man. If you want to take another way, we could take it that way too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let you get crazy with me. I'm not going for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Because then you're going to walk all over me. You're going to think you can just abuse me and handle me any kind of way. And I'm not doing that. I'm a man before anything. I'm a human being before anything. I'm a father before anything. You're not going to disrespect me in front of my motherfucking kids. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Period. And I said it in the most respectful way, but I meant it like that. Right? And he was only going off of what the fuck he was told. He's even showed up to my old residence. Right? He's even showed up to my old residence and was like threatening me. He showed up to my door based off of something that my kid's maternal grandmother told him. Some bullshit. And told him things I wasn't even aware of. So he threatened me. And see, here's the thing. I wasn't going to let him do anything to me. If he attempted it, I'm going to keep it real. It wasn't going to go well. Not for me. No, it would have been fine for me, but not for him. And see, that's the thing. I feared it because I try to be peaceful. Hands-off approach. I try to be peaceful. And I knew that I would have to give him a chance to do something to me first before I react. And that's just my personality, right? And I didn't want to even give him the chance. I didn't want to give him the chance. So I told him, go about your business. I don't know what you're talking about. Goodbye, sir. Don't threaten me again. Because I'm going to take it seriously at this point. And I really don't want to have to give you a chance to act on your threats. You know what I mean? Because then it's not self-defense if I don't give you a chance to act on it. But please step away. And I'm also afraid of what I'll do to you. Because if you put my life in jeopardy and I got to raise my babies, and my babies got to be without a father, because y'all already tried to kill me, all bets are off. Or my babies are in the crossfires of the shit you're doing, because you're being brainwashed and your mind is warped. Yeah. I'm going out for mine. And I said, this is not a threat. And I'm not a violent individual. I'm not. But the bottom line is this. I'm not going to keep letting people do stuff to me. I'm not. I'm not going to keep letting people do stuff to me. This is how my life was almost taken the first time. Because I said, you know what? I'm not worried about this stuff. I'm not going to do nothing to these people. I'm not going to get angry. I'm going to mind my effing business, and hopefully they mind theirs. I'm going to be a dad. I'm going to spend time with my kids, and next you know, my life is damn near taken from me. Because I was being peaceful. Because I wasn't on the violent stuff. I was being a man. A human. You know what I'm saying? A good person. With morals and integrity. They had none. They cowardly broke into my house and kidnapped my child and tried to kill me. Based off of lies. Lies. So now, that occurred. I didn't get a fair shake with Child Protective Services either. I'm not the one with the accusations. There are false accusations brought up about me. They know they're false. They did their investigations, and it's consistently false, but they still hold me hostage. That's not fair. At all. Right? They're aware of what this woman did. They're aware of what her family members were doing. I'm not making any threats to anybody. Nor have I never threatened anybody. Biological dad and biological dad's mother showed up to my so much. I don't fuck with them. I don't trust them. Conveniently, every time court comes around, they switch the worker, or the worker can't make it, or something. Is every time things are supposed to go in my favor that these things happen, and it's more than a coincidence. You know what I mean? They could fear, and now they're talking about they have a fear that I'm gonna bring mom back into the home. First of all, I bought a new home in a new state, okay, to get the fuck away from all the bullshit and my kids being in the hands of the system. Okay. I made an agreement with these people not to invite mom back into the home. Okay, I made an agreement with that. And they were all for it. They were all on board. Suddenly that changes. Likely due to the maternal grandmother saying some bullshit, or it's because we're on board with me getting permanent custody of my kids. They want to destroy the family structure. You don't want mom in the home, or you don't want dad in the home. This is what CPS is about. This is what CPS is about. I'm tired of the bullshit. See, I tried to have faith in the system. I tried. But see, they want the family system to be broken, right? So they want us living in separate households. This is verbatim what they've said. They want us separate households. Cool. They don't care if we deal with each other, but they want us living in separate households, right? Okay. They don't care if there's a relationship. They don't give a fuck. Just separate households because of lies that were stated about me. No sweat. Certain mistakes mom has made. Okay, no sweat. But then, if we're working for the common good of the kids in the courtroom, that has nothing to do with outside the courtroom. Outside the courtroom, we could absolutely not be talking to each other. Right? Absolutely not be talking to each other. But in the courtroom, she's agreeing that I should have them. Why is now the court having a problem? Now they're assuming shit. They're assuming shit. They're assuming we're making agreements together because of shit that my kid's mother's mother, the maternal grandmother, said in the courtroom. And her attorney said, oh, didn't you guys make an agreement together while you were having an attorney conference? No, we didn't. And because my children's mother, right, thinking she was helping the situation, she didn't lie, but she didn't tell the truth either. She thought she was helping the situation because her attorney is not really working for her like that and didn't explain what is okay to say and what's not okay to say and what's private and what's not. She should have kept her mouth shut and not answered the question. But the judge was forcing both of us to answer questions that we shouldn't have had to answer, that the maternal grandmother was getting away with not answering. But okay. Called her to the stand. She says, he told me he didn't like my mom. That wasn't a conversation. She knew I didn't like her mom for years now. That's not new information. I didn't have to tell her that. She knows I don't like her mom. And it's not because I just don't like her mom out of the blue. It's because of what her mom does and has been doing. The conversation, her attorney wanted it to be understood that she was not coaching her client, meaning my kid's mother, to sway in either direction. She was simply explaining the consequences of whatever decision she makes. That's all. In front of myself and my attorney. That is all. And she wanted to make sure that she was fully making that decision for herself in front of us. So it can't be said that, well, she said that she was on board in court prior and now she changed her mind. Her attorney must have did this. No, she told her client, listen, if you say yes to this, this is going to happen. Do you understand? In front of my attorney, he was aware of this. He was there. She said yes. She's aware. Are you sure you're making this decision? His client, meaning myself, is not coaching you. He's not threatening you. He's not doing none of that. Because she was addressing me, she wanted my attorney present and myself present. No, he's not. Okay. You're making this decision on your own. There's no promises being made to you. Yes. I'm doing this on my own. No promises made to me. Okay. Do you understand that if you take all these children permanently, you're solely responsible for them? This is her attorney asking me. Yes, I'm aware of that. Did you, you're not trying to, finesse, or not really shouldn't use that word, but basically finesse my client into doing, no. All right. My attorney also explained to her client via permission of her attorney, are you sure you understand the ramifications of what you're going to do? Yes. Okay, we're not making a deal here. What we're telling you and explaining to you is whatever you say in that courtroom has this effect potentially and this effect potentially. If you say no, this could potentially happen. If you say yes, this could potentially happen. It is up to you. That's what they said to her. There was nothing about you're going to say this or this is bad if you do this. They gave all the potentialities that they believe could have happened, good and or bad. Okay, they didn't say, oh, like definitely something bad is gonna happen or something good's gonna happen. They just said these are multiple possibilities of what could happen. We're not sure though, but we want to let you know that these are the potential things. We want you to sit and think on it. That's what was said. We didn't make an agreement for shit. Me and her didn't. We didn't even really talk. The only thing I really did was clarify what they were saying in layman's terms because, no disrespect, I'm a little bit more educated than her. So I broke it down to nigga talk, okay? To Ebonics. I broke it down to the simplest way I could, okay? From what I could understand. You understand? That's it. And not saying she's stupid by any means, no. But what I'm saying, that's all that was done. Me narrating and making her understand and then confirming with her attorney that I'm not lying or that he's not lying. That's it. So when her attorney said some shit and she don't quite understand, she gets a look on her face. I said, look, this is what she means in the most simplest way. If you do this, this could happen. Am I lying? No? Okay. That's what she meant. Am I correct in that assumption of what you meant? Yes. That's it. That's it. There was no deals made. She was just simply explaining to her what could happen if she continues to say she's on board with what's going on my part. That's it. And it was making sure she understands the ramifications of that, the consequences of that. That's all. There was no agreements. So for her mother to sit there and her attorney to sit there and lie and make it seem as though we made an agreement and that's why she's making that decision, that's bullshit. You know what it is? It's because she wasn't on her mother's side. Anytime it seemed like she was on the fence, the attorney was cool with that. Anytime it seemed like she was on her mother's side defending her mother, he was cool with that. And that's his job. But he doesn't have to lie. He has no integrity. Her attorney has no integrity. Meaning her mother's attorney, the maternal grandmother's attorney. He has no integrity. Just like he tried to say I was lying when mind you, I was the victim. And in any court proceeding criminally, you know that if the victim testifies that they know that you did it, you're going the fuck to jail. Right? Now, just because I didn't see her because I have two niggas standing over me, beating me with fucking bats and holding guns to my fucking head, right? Doesn't mean that you didn't do it. I seen after the fact that you did it. I seen after the assault that you tried to kill me. I seen it. Okay? On camera. I explained that. The court struck that from the record. Unfair. I wasn't getting a fair shake. The court struck that from the record. When we spoke about, right? Again, I'm not snitching or none of that. I don't give a fuck what y'all think anyway. I'm a dad. I'm a father. Civilian life, right? Bottom line, this is a fight for my kids, right? Anyway. But when I explained that on camera, I seen the video footage of what occurred that night when I went to the detective's office, right? When they called me there, right? To confirm my phone number from phone records and stuff. And then they also showed me phone records and pictures and videos, which they gave me because I was in the hospital initially and they sent me pictures, like screenshots of the stuff. And then they showed me the video footage when I got there. I knew her mother did it. I knew my kid's maternal grandmother did it. They struck that from the record because I didn't see it with my own two eyeballs right there at the moment when it was happening. Listen. So that means if somebody goes in a store, right, a jewelry store, they rob the jewelry store blind, they take everything, right? And because the owner of the jewelry store, there's no cashiers, nothing in it, just the owner. The owner of the jewelry store is getting his ass whipped, right, beaten and bludgeoned, right, and have guns to his head. And he's distracted by the people attacking him. And the person that takes the jewelry is not seen at first hand, reading right there. And they get away. The person who steals the jewelry gets away, right? The person who steals the jewelry gets away. By that fact alone, right? By what happened to me, what went on with me, that jewelry person, the jewelry thief should not go to jail. You know why? Because if they go back on the camera later, right? They go back on the camera later and say, oh, this motherfucker, and they identify him and they pick him up, he should get let go. Because if I got told I'm a fucking liar because I seen her on camera, right, doing the crime, right, and Yeah, that doesn't get to get used. It gets struck from the record. That should happen with any criminal. So long as they don't get seen firsthand, so long as they only seen on camera, right? And that should have happened for my kid's mother. Because I didn't see her in the house either. I didn't see her when that went down either. I saw her on camera after the fact. And where I seen her, it didn't even look like she was the one who had anything to do it. It looked like when she was set the fuck up to take the fall. That's what it looked like. Because when she pulled up, they handed the kid over to her. They handed my son over to her. That means, here you go. We know there's a camera here. You're going to get seen on camera with him in your arms. And we know you're a bitter asshole. Like, you're in your emotions right now. You're in your feelings. No disrespect. But you're in your feelings. You're going to look like an asshole on camera. You're going to go to jail. And that's exactly what happened. Her mother said, nope, she did it. But failed to realize my kid's mother can't drive at all. She cannot operate a motor vehicle at all. Shit. I don't even think she could ride a scooter. I'm talking about the little electric scooters. I don't even think she could really do that. I really don't. I don't even think she could ride rollerblades or a bicycle, really, for that matter. No disrespect. I know for a fact she cannot drive a car. I know for a fact. So my kid's mother, she can't drive a car. And guess whose car was there during the crime, the commission of the crime? And I seen drive the fuck off. Because, yeah, I followed the motherfuckers who tried to kill me quietly. And I had to drag myself across the fucking floor. You know what I'm saying? And when I was able to stand up and hobble to the fucking door, because these dumbasses left the door open, I seen the car. It was her mother's car, which is why I was able to describe the car and lead these motherfuckers to where to go get my kid back. Did I call the police? No, my mom called the police. Right? Because these motherfuckers was threatening to hurt my kid and me if they called the police. I didn't give a fuck what they did to me. I just wanted my kid. Let me live long enough to make sure my kid got back safe. These are facts. Oh, her mother didn't report her car stolen. Her mother didn't report the car getting hijacked or hotwired or anything. No claim to the insurance company, nothing. She's still driving that car, no problem to this day. And guess what? Even if she did suddenly start putting those things in, those paperwork in, and figuring out how to corrupt something, do something else corrupt, right? The funny part is, when CPS went to go get my kids and return them to me, she tried to drive off with my kids again. This is according to my kids. And then, you know what else? So her car couldn't have been tampered with. And it could have been stolen because during the video footage, she has her keys in her hand going back to her car. The two douchebags who broke in my house, they're standing right next to the car. One of the assholes has his face turned, so you can clearly make out his face a little bit. And he has a very unique body structure, very unique way he stands, very unique way he walks. When I meet people, I seriously analyze them just in case, especially when they make a threat toward me. When they make a threat toward me verbally, I start analyzing every way you move, just in case. Just in case I'm walking somewhere late at night and I see somebody coming toward me and they walk a certain way. I say, oh, this is that motherfucker right there. Or just in case I get robbed at night or something happens. I learned to analyze people, how you walk, how you move, how you stand, everything. I knew who it was the minute I saw the screenshot. Plus, her mom was blatantly there, like, you know what I'm saying? The car. I've drove her mom's car before, so I know the car. I know the car. And you know what? It couldn't have been the two dudes on their own because my son has never been in their presence. So, and if I know my kid's mom was there, now she can't tell me exactly where she was at, right? But he had to see somebody that, let's put it like this, man. My kid's mom can't drive. All right. I would have heard a truck pulling up. And, you know, I'm gonna quickly get off this live though, because I gotta go grab my mail from my old house and then go back to where, you know, I'm currently staying at right now until I can move into my new house. All the way move into my new house because of this bullshit. So I'm gonna get off this because I don't want to be sitting here too long, like, you know, because again, I don't live at my old house anymore, my old residence anymore, so I don't want people to think I'm over here loitering or, you know, stealing or some shit like that. You know, it's on record I don't live over here anymore. Like, it's known I don't live here anymore, so like I moved out and stuff. So I'm gonna just grab my mail and be out. You know what I'm saying? Nobody lives there, so you know what I'm saying? Well, old neighbors, I guess. You know, whatever. I don't want to get into that, but just gotta go get this mail because the fucking post office didn't switch it yet. But anyway, at the end of the day, I wasn't given a fair shake. All right. I'm not the dude that they try to paint me out to be. I think the court is giving leeway and extra chances to people who don't deserve it. I think the court is allowing me to be played. You know what I'm saying? I think the court is allowing my character to be destroyed. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that, I don't plan on filing lawsuits against certain individuals for defamation of character and harassment after this is over. I definitely do intend on doing it. And I think that because I have kids and most of my money goes to my kids, toward my kids, don't think that I won't have the money to do that, but I will. And I've been keeping records of a lot of stuff. So, basically, there's probably an attorney that will take it up pro bono anyway, So, with that being said, youth, kids, don't find yourself in this position. All right, please don't. It is not worth it. It's not worth the drama. Don't find yourself in this position. If you see the red flags early on, please just run away. Run as fast as you can. Do I encourage you to take responsibility? You have children, take care of them, of course. Do I encourage the black family to stick together? I do. But at the same time, when you see red flags like a toxic family, please be wary, be careful. Be careful. And also understand not every person that's a relative or that is blood is family. Peace.